Awesome, thanks so much. See you then. All right, Light Sport Up aircraft lesson number 2 books. 1:30 this Saturday. How many sleeps is that? Too many. He said, is that getting too late in the day? I wouldn't mind going in the morning, but we'll take what we can get at this point. Looks like a lot of the schools are getting booked out, so another cool weekend plan. That's so cool. Going flying this weekend. That makes me excited. I think we've called every school in Adelaide now. No, we haven't yet. So there's actually a fair few. It's actually surprising. You think that not a lot of people who you meet say that they fly light aircraft, but it's happening all the time, every day, Monday through Sunday, and there's schools everywhere, all around, whether it's close to the city or remote, so that's great to see. It actually is a pretty sizable community, and all the people are so passionate, so it's going to be great to join them this Saturday. Flight lesson number 3. Officially number 2 in terms of a lesson. Flight number 3 coming up. Stoked. So back from the shops. So we ended up picking up the GoPro 360 Max. Hope to get some shots looking away from the wing and then also towards the aircraft itself. So that should be fun. A couple of SD cards and then this file for all those documents that they were throwing at us last week. So this will be cool to keep everything in the one place because right now it's real scattered. But looking forward to getting into this tomorrow. Oh, it's bright. Cloudless days, weekend 2 at this school. Glorious day for it. All right. It is literally a picture perfect day. I'm not sure if you can see out here, but you definitely can't. But it is literally a picture perfect day. Hopefully it's not too windy. It's nice and cold. Generally good for aircraft performance. In the last lesson, our flying instructor said that sometimes a layer of cloud's not a bad thing, because what it does is it provides a buffer to the fast moving air. I keep saying hair and not air. Anyway, the fast moving air, and I believe him because it was very smooth last week and there was that buffer of cloud. So let's see how we go this week, compare it now when there is no cloud buffer, and we'll see if it does feel a little bit bumpy. But yeah, let's get to flight training. It's been an amazing day so far. Oh, there's a 737-800 above us right now, so looks like it's flying smoothly, so hopefully that reflects in ours. They're just paving the path for us when we get up there. Honestly, the flight path into Adelaide is mental. It's so cool. A lot of the main roads, they go straight underneath the approach, and you get some really low altitude aircraft coming quite close to the city, which is it's phenomenal. I absolutely love it here, so I'll be filming some of those. All right, let's get into lesson number 2. Hey guys, it's your favourite wannabe pilot, Cal here. Look, it's video 2 and I've already messed up the audio. It didn't actually record throughout this entire flight, so we'll get better, I promise. I guess buckle up for a little voiceover to talk you through this week's lesson. As you can see, we've got clear blue skies, really been looked after in terms of flying conditions in our first 2 weeks. We started the flight lesson with a briefing where we went over the key points from the previous lesson. We transitioned into what we can focus on to improve those, and then how we can expand those skills into something a bit more complex. Getting into a little bit of a takeoff here. Yep, we're airborne, sweet. Okay, we can continue. So the first few hours of flight training is spent in what's called the upper air. Therefore, the instructor basically will fly you up, get you comfortable in an aircraft, and demonstrate how you can control an aircraft and all of the associated effects of those aircraft controls. So I'll touch on this in the next clip, but essentially last week we focused on the basics in upper air, and we covered heaps. We really covered a lot. It was a really long lesson, and we got through basic aircraft controls, straight and level flight, some climbing and descending, and then we also did a few level turns there at the end as well. So like I said, we covered a lot. This lesson was split into two, where the first half we were doing some revision and consolidation of all those skills we were introduced to in our lesson last week and also in our trial flight. The second half, what's going on here? Just a cool transition. Don't mind that. I'm learning how to use this 360 camera. The second half, we're putting some of those elements together. So we're introduced to climbing and descending turns. So that's turning whilst gaining or reducing altitude. This was really, really challenging, as I'll explain in the clip to follow, but wow, it was fun. It was so fun. Yeah, there was a lot going on, and yeah, I'll touch on it in the next clip, but you can probably see the airfield and the airspace in which we're doing our training is quite remote, apart from this town here. Now we say that, but it is quite remote. The terrain's super flat. It's a beautiful part of Australia. So for 2 weeks now, we've had great flying conditions, and I'm really enjoying coming out here. We were doing some of our training to follow the river, which was really fun. It's a super flat, beautiful area. Oh, look at that. So not only did I fail in the audio department, but the camera battery died too. So, all right. Looks like flight's over. We'll sort this out next time. Catch ya. Okay, amazing day of flying. Amazing day. So much more learnt. It literally is a second lesson in a light sport aircraft, and we learnt so much more than I was expecting. The primary focus of today's lessons were climbing and descending turns. Last week we were practicing there's aircraft going everywhere. So last week we did climbs and descends, so we were increasing our altitude and decreasing our altitude in straight flight. We also did level turns, so we were turning the aircraft whilst maintaining the same height. This week we put them together, so we're doing climbing turns and descending turns. So there was heaps to manage. You have to make sure that your airspeed's right, that your throttle setting's right, that your bank angle's right, and that you're tracking correctly. So there was a lot to take into consideration, and it was phenomenal. So great lesson. I don't think we got audio. We got the 360 footage. I'm excited to see. Anyway, and is that the right way up? No. Here we go. First flight's officially logged in the logbook. So that is an achievement in itself. The journey has officially begun because we have officially logged a flight. So super happy with our first logbook entry. Bit of a drive back to get the nice sunset. I'm getting hungry though, so remember flying makes you hungry. We might get a second fruit smoothie for the day. No, we got some slow cooked lamb for dinner. I've noticed a few people rocking up now as the sun's going down for a quick flight. The wind has dropped off a little bit. It was quite bumpy up there, I will add. Last week we got nice smooth air, and this week it was a little bit more difficult to maintain heading and also altitude, because when there's a wind gust you basically almost balloon up or you sink lower. You're not changing your attitude, power setting or anything. Your altitude can just vary based on these wind gusts. Yeah, there was a lot in it today. Beautiful weather. It was just so clear. First time we joined circuit, a lot of communication between all the aircraft in the circuit. It was really cool to be able to see an aircraft, to hear a radio call, and to know that it came from them and see what they're describing their situation is and what their intention is. So that was a really big learning experience today as well. Fantastic lesson again. Lesson number 2, I'm already addicted like I've been saying. The amount that I've been taught in the past 2 lessons it's crazy, because even the flight instructors say this is something where you never stop learning. I find that incredible. I learned so much in the first 2 lessons and there's more to come. He did tell me to read up on some stalls and recoveries, so that is exciting. Yeah, coming from an aerodynamics background, I'm very familiar with aerodynamic stall, but it's another thing to recover an aircraft that has stalled. I'm really, really, really excited for that. So anyway, let's get on the road. Let's enjoy this sunset drive back. Unreal day, unreal day. So sick, so sick. Anyway, where's my keys? In my pocket. A skinny jean's still a thing. That's something that we need to figure out, because, you know, back sort of 6-7 years ago, it was all you could wear was skinny jeans, but is it still a thing? Like, do I still have to wear them? Nah, actually, I'm just gonna continue wearing them. Like, skinny jeans when you're flying an airplane, I don't know if that's acceptable. So, topic for next time.